It's too expensive. It's too expensive to leave versus what you would save and the regulations that you wouldn't have to go through and all the bullshit with all the permits and all the... What California does is over-regulate everything. They get as much government involved as possible. They suck as much tax money out of you as possible. And then they still leave the place a mess. They still have homeless people everywhere. It's still a disaster. It's still a woke show of virtue signaling at every level of the government. Still. Like no course correction at all. They're going further and further into La La Land. And you're like, Jesus Christ, you guys.
The storms in California might be over, but guess who's still fired up? Joe Rogan and Mel Gibson. Neither of them is holding back, saying Gavin Newsom failed and needs to face questions. On a recent Rogan episode, they teamed up and went straight at him. If you want raw, uncensored political fire, this is it. Tap subscribe and let's get into it.
The whole state is just so poorly managed. It's so frustrating and confusing, and then he gets on TV and pretends like everything's great. Mm-hmm. And California's the best. We have the best state. We have the most amazing economy. And like, you're out of your mind, dude. You've ruined this state. Like, personally ruined it.
Rogan kicked things off by calling out the California governor for wasting his time in power. To Rogan, California should attract builders and dreamers from everywhere. Instead, people are leaving in droves. Rogan himself left in 2020, fed up with cancel culture, where one bad phrase could destroy you. And that was only the beginning. He said Newsom took a strong economy and wrecked it with bad choices, reckless laws, and flashy politics. Crime is rising, homelessness is exploding, businesses are packing up, taxes are sky high. To Rogan, Newsom represents what's broken in progressive leadership. Image over results, ideas over real people. And this wasn't new. During the pandemic, Rogan blasted Newsom's team for wiping out small businesses with constant errors.
No one who is alive today had ever experienced a true pandemic. And I'm hoping that now that this is over, people are going to, recognize that some serious errors were made and not repeat those. That's the best you can get out of it.
So what do you tell those people?
Vote Republican.
Gavin Newsom's pandemic failure was the final push that made Joe Rogan consider supporting Republicans. Why? Because to Rogan, Democrats completely failed. Endless shutdowns destroyed small businesses, harmed mental health, and did little to stop the virus. Schools stayed closed for months, robbing children of education, especially those at risk. Despite low transmission risk and strict mask rules, Rogan saw it as politics, not science. He spoke openly. Rogan slammed the left for silencing dissent, rejecting facts, and treating debate as forbidden. Newsom, he said, inherited a perfect setup and turned it into disaster. Businesses collapsed, lives disrupted, freedoms taken away. To Rogan, the pandemic didn't just show mistakes, it exposed the decay inside progressive leadership. More control, zero logic. And he's not backing down. He even turned up pressure during recent wildfires.
This guy's like standing in front of all this stuff, and he's got a smile on his face, and he's talking about land use.
The development plans.
Watch this. Play this. Give me.
I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some ideas about some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward, and we'll be presenting those in a matter of days, not just weeks.
With a big smile on his face. Look at the little wiggle he does with his shoulders. Speculator, watch this. Talking to Josh. Look at this. Look at this little wiggle. It's excited about the possibilities of speculators coming in. And he's saying, move forward. We're going to move forward on that. These people lost their homes.
Now you see why Joe Rogan is urging Californians to vote Republican, because leadership isn't about cameras or staged photo shoots. It's about showing up when things fall apart. And when California was in chaos, Rogan remembers Arnold Schwarzenegger facing it directly. No excuses, no spin. He owned the problems and tried to fix them. Gavin Newsom, by contrast, treated crisis like politics. While shops closed and families lost everything, Newsom dined maskless at luxury spots, complained and pushed mandates while eyeing a presidential run. Instead of leading with strength, he chased headlines and let regular people suffer. That's why Rogan's anger lands. This isn't red versus blue. It's a call for real leadership, courage, honesty, and duty. Californians don't need polish. They need someone who actually cares.
Gavin Newsom talks about California. He's like, I'm very big on California, very bullish on California. California has all this industry. Hey, they're all thinking about moving. The only reason why they don't move is because it's too difficult to move. If it was like every business could instantly pull up roots and replace everything and have everything running in a week at the other place, they'd all be gone.
Joe Rogan didn't soften his words. He blasted Gavin Newsom for turning California into a graveyard for small businesses. To Rogan, Newsom's leadership didn't just hurt entrepreneurs, it broke them. First came Assembly Bill 5, a messy law that reclassified freelancers and gig workers as employees. The result was crushing labor costs and legal traps for small companies. Then came the flashy $20 minimum wage. It sounds nice, but in reality, it drained restaurants, caused layoffs, and shut businesses down. Then the unemployment system collapsed. Due to mismanagement, fraud exploded, leaving employers facing surprise tax hikes. Rogan was blunt. Instead of helping owners, Newsom stacked the system against them with red tape and false promises. California, he said, isn't opportunity anymore. It's a warning. And Rogan still wasn't finished.
It's too expensive to leave versus what you would save and the regulations that you wouldn't have to go through and all the bull with all the permits and all that. What California does is overregulate everything. They get as much government involved as possible. They suck as much tax money out of you as possible. And then they still leave the place a mess. They still have homeless people everywhere. It's still a fucking disaster. It's still a woke shit show of virtue signaling at every level of the government. Still. Like no course correction at all. They're going further and further into La La Land. And you're like, Jesus Christ, you guys.
That's a man who's completely fed up with Gavin Newsom's leadership. And honestly, who wouldn't be? With massive policies, heavy rules, and headline-driven ideas, you'd expect California to lead the nation in quality of life, but it doesn't. Despite huge wealth, residents face problems worse than average states. Homelessness has exploded, turning parts of Los Angeles and San Francisco into tent cities. Crime keeps rising. Businesses are relocating to Texas and Florida, where costs are lower and rules make sense. Meanwhile, the cost of living crushes the middle class. So what did all these progressive policies deliver? Critics like Rogan say it's inflated egos in Sacramento and a state drifting away from the California dream. And he's not alone. Actor Mel Gibson has joined calls for Newsom to be removed.
And Karen Bass have already proven their incompetence and poor leadership during the Los Angeles wildfires. Now, as we experience rampant lawlessness and civil unrest, it's never been more clear they're unable to respond effectively and responsibly during calamity. Whether it's sheer incompetence or outright malevolence, the reality is stark. California's in a state of turmoil, and I ask my fellow Angelenos, why are Gavin Newsom and Karen Bass still in office?
Mel Gibson didn't sugarcoat it. He directly told voters to remove Gavin Newsom from office, and he meant it. His breaking point came when Newsom stood by as ICE protests turned chaotic. What began as peaceful demonstrations quickly became looting, smashed stores, and ruined neighborhoods. While Newsom played politics, Gibson accused him of choosing ideology over responsibility. Instead of protecting lives and property, Newsom sided with protesters and ignored the violence. To Gibson, this wasn't poor judgment, it was negligence. Californians weren't asking for force. They wanted peace, safety, and leadership. But Newsom, Gibson said, couldn't deliver even that. Rather than fixing his failures, Newsom was busy daring border czar Tom Homan to arrest him.
Get your hands off these poor
people are just trying to live their lives, man. Trying to live their lives, paying their taxes, been here 10 years. The fear, the horror, the hell is this guy? Come after me, arrest me, let's just get it over with. Tough guy. You know, I don't give a damn. But I care about my community, I care about this community. The hell are they doing? These guys need to grow up, they need to stop, and we need to push back. And I'm sorry to be so clear, but that kind of bloviating is exhausting. So Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
As if arresting one person would fix the chaos he helped create during those ICE protests. It's ridiculous. Just another staged moment by Gavin Newsom to sell the image of tough leadership. Strip away the cameras and flashing lights, and you see a politician focused on optics, not results. Newsom's protest response wasn't leadership. It was panic control. I watched as cities struggled, property was destroyed, and trust in government vanished. Then when people pushed back, he flipped the script and played tough. That's pure hypocrisy. If he truly cared, he would have worked with federal leaders to fix immigration fairly and safely. He could have pushed real reform that keeps communities secure while offering hope. But that takes courage, and that's what Newsom lacks. Meanwhile, John Voight didn't stay silent either. He had sharp criticism for the governor as well.
You're a fool blaming Trump. What are you doing for this destruction of these animals destroying Los Angeles? Are you there, talking calmly with them, you fool? They would burn you down like they're burning the cars and the American flag with no regard for humanity. This is not about Trump. This is about protecting the people from these animals and criminals trying to destroy us. And our police force, are they supposed to stand there, let rocks hit them and kill them? Who's going to save them? You? You're a disgrace. You're nothing but a lying dog for the hopes of becoming the president one day.
With a record like this, it's almost comical to picture Gavin Newsom as the Democratic frontrunner for 2028. California, rich with talent and money, has struggled badly under his watch. If he can't stabilize one state plagued by crime, homelessness, and economic strain, why trust him with the nation? Newsom seems more skilled at managing headlines than producing results. His plans may look good on paper but fall apart in reality. He talks progress while businesses leave, schools fail, and residents suffer the fallout. Leadership isn't speeches and press clips, it's visible results. So when people promote Newsom as president, that's a warning. If this is his governing style, America can't afford it nationwide. His time in office shows failed leadership, harmful policies, image over substance, and chaos sold as reform. From Joe Rogan to Mel Gibson, critics aren't convinced. If he can't lead California, he shouldn't lead the country. Voters are noticing. That's today's wrap. If you liked it, hit like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.